In a world where mainstream media has been compromised and TV debates have devolved into noisy, hollow spectacles, serious discourse is missing. At Drishtikone, we refuse to play the game of the mainstream media. And we have brought you sharp, clear, fearless insights through our newsletters. And now we begin that same uncompromised and insightful analysis on our new platform, the Drishtikone TV YouTube channel. Subscribe it and press the bell icon. And more importantly, share its videos. For the battles ahead will not be fought on the borders alone, but also in the minds of people. It has been over 10 days since the cowardly massacre at Pahalgam occurred. 26 innocent lives were lost, ruthlessly ended after being religiously profiled. The Indian government has vowed retribution, swift and unimaginable. And yet, no kinetic action has taken place. There has been diplomatic thunder, yes. Suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty, sudden releases of Jhelum and Chenab water, and stopping of waters in other rivers, but no real kinetic action. Why? What calculations may be underway in all the war rooms, specifically those where Modi, Doval, Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, and Dr. Jaishankar meet? What stakes are being weighed in all the capitals, in Pakistan, in China, US, and all the other countries? In our last analysis, we had revealed how Pakistan's backers, China, Turkey, UK, and even institutions like the World Bank are rallying to its side. And in a very stunning and interesting interview on CNN News 18 with Zaka Jacob, Victor Gao, who was a former translator to Deng Xiaoping and a very top CCP insider, when he was asked about the Pahalgam terror attack, he didn't flinch. He didn't offer any sorrow or any condolences. Neither did he offer any neutrality. Instead, he issued a threat. He said, "You are talking about the war between Pakistan and India on the one hand, and on the other, there's an ironclad alliance between China and Pakistan, and China's full commitment to defend Pakistan's sovereignty and territorial integrity." Victor Gao wasn't there to debate. He was there to deliver a message. In fact, a threat straight from Beijing. The two-front war that India has always talked about is no longer an analyst's warning or a fantasy. It is an official CCP policy. China has declared itself a direct stakeholder in Pakistan's war against India. There is another set of factors that need to be evaluated: Pakistan's own preparations against India. In February 2024, during the Spear of Victory exercises in Saudi Arabia, Pakistan's JF-17s locked horns against the French Rafales, the very jets India depends on to defend her skies. And not just that, Pakistani pilots had trained earlier on Qatar's Rafale fleet, equipped with near identical RBE-2 AESA radars, Spectra electronic warfare suites, Meteor air-to-air missiles, and Scalp ground attack systems. The training that exposed India's most advanced aerial secrets. Such training games have shrunk India's margin of surprise and dominance. This wasn't just a case of similar aircraft facing off. It was a direct compromise of India's custom-fitted battlefield architecture. The consequences can be very, very serious. And now, as China steps into Pakistan's defense with submarines, fighter jets, drones, missiles, as Turkey feeds Pakistan with drones and other weapons, as UK and World Bank pump lifelines into a failing rogue state, a terrifying new axis is emerging. Just try and think through it. China, Pakistan, Turkey, Qatar, UK, Europe, an axis built not just on alliances, but on a common purpose: to clip India's wings for some, to corner America for others, and to reshape the world order for yet other folks. And what is Europe doing? After 26 Indian citizens were slaughtered at Pahalgam, Kaja Kallas, EU's top diplomat, had the audacity to issue sanctimonious sermons to India. I urge both sides to show restraint. Both sides? In Ukraine, Europe demands the world's blood to defend its soil. In India, when innocent tourists are massacred, it demands restraint. The stench of European hypocrisy is unbearable. As Dr. Jaishankar had rightly retorted not so long back, Europe must grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems. Look deeper. Europe's betrayal is no real accident. Since Trump's tariffs, Europe and China have been rushing into each other's arms. Despite Chinese cyber attacks, espionage, and aggression, Europe chooses trade over sovereignty. China is capturing Europe, or whatever is left of it, post-Islamist takeover of the significant areas within its cities and towns, quietly and systematically. And America, still trapped in its own hallucinations, still fighting shadows, while the dragon wraps around its throat. So you see, the battlefield here that we see is far broader and bigger than you think. Pahalgam was not a local terror attack. It was actually a global move on the geopolitical chessboard, a signal to India, to America, and to the free world that the game has shifted. The new chessboard that we see has China funding and arming and shielding Pakistan, Turkey supplying drones and tactical support, Qatar financing influence networks, Europe winking and trading. UK supplies old double games, and World Bank lubricates Pakistan's wheels under the guise of development aid. Remember the $108 million for tourism in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa? Russia is there, but it is wounded and isolated and has become a second fiddle to China. India stands surrounded, and America stands isolated, wounded by its own delusions. Without India, America cannot contain China. And if India falls, if India is bogged down, bled out, or broken, China's last best partner in the Indo-Pacific collapses. Taiwan will fail, Japan will be isolated, and the Indo-Pacific will become China's own lake. The world will shift irreversibly, and America will find itself not fighting for global leadership, but fighting for its own survival. There is only one path left: offense. Ruthless, relentless offense. India must lock down Bangladesh and take over whatever it can in terms of chicken egg and other areas, neutralize Pakistan, prepare for decisive blinding strikes, secure new regional alliances, and America must choose, and quickly. It must arm and back India, not with hesitation, but with urgency. This is as much America's war as it is India's. For between China and the US, the only real power standing is India. To get it right, Trump's America must first repair the bridge to Russia, quietly and strategically. It must wake up to the real enemy. The US that went after Russia was Biden's, and the left-wing US. Trump's US is quite different. If Trump's US can alleviate Putin's issues and help fulfill the geostrategic conditionalities that he has, then Russia may want to ally with the US eventually. The best person to create that link between Trump and Putin may actually be Modi. Given China's strides in strategic future tech like AI, robotics, quantum computing, and other cutting-edge technologies, it is either ahead of the US or at par. At this stage, if the US loses Europe, as is happening, then it really has no options against its battle with China, except India. And if it can pull it off, Russia. So either it takes China on in post-Pahalgam era, or it loses everything. This is the final window, the final stand, the last momentum when the lion and the eagle can rise together or fall broken and scattered together. The stakes are no longer about the alliances or trade. The existential questions are India and America ready to face the truth? Are they ready to strike before it's too late? Those are the real questions that they have. Because if they are not, they will not get another chance. The stakes are existence itself. Sherlock Holmes once remarked in his conversation with Dr. Watson, "How many times should I tell you, Dr. Watson, that whenever you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, has to be the truth." America and India and the rest of the world needs to find out what the impossible is in this situation. The rest, however improbable, has to be the truth.